our ancestors successfully made vast amounts of jams and preserves through the summer months so they could have it in the winter. Obviously, they had no refrigeration, so they had to eat seasonally. It's not like we can go to the supermarket and buy raspberries in the middle of December because we've shipped them halfway across the world. They would have just preserved them somehow, either dried them or pickled or made jams and jellies so they can have those flavours in the winter months. And I'm no different. I don't like to have everything in a freezer. I like to have everything cooked, ready to hand. So because I'm so busy, I could just go and, take off a ready meal that I've jarred up. Or yes, I do have a freezer so I can get some soft fruits or something out of the freezer. But today I am going to make a very economical blackcurrant and rhubarb jam. I've homegrown all of this. The only cost involved is the sugar, and I've got a few new lids for my jam jars. My husband's just come home from work. It's all right, Al, you can come in. But that's what I'm up to today. I've already done a lot of the groundwork on the jam to save time on the video. So the blackcurrants I have cooked down so when they press against the side, they squish easily. And the rhubarb is already cooked, and I froze it because I needed to get it out of the garden. The actual ingredients you need for this recipe, and I'm using the jams, pickles and preserves by Cyril Grange. This jams are very economical because rhubarb is always in abundance. And obviously I've had a great big crop of blackcurrants this year. So the actual ingredients, you will need 2 pounds of each fruit and 4.5 pounds of sugar. It says cook the fruit separately, the blackcurrants in 600 ml or a pint of water, and the rhubarb is 300 ml, half a pint of water. Make sure the currants have been softened, then mix them together, add the sugar, boil and pot. So that's the stage I'm at now. So because this is really hot, this still is a little bit frozen, so I'm just gently going to put it in. And we'll let that defrost before we boil it hard, or add the sugar as well. So I've got my jars and lids. I've given them a wash in hot soapy water, and now I am sterilising them for 10 minutes. I need hot jars anyway because I'm going to water bathe for 10 minutes once the jam is all potted up. So it's sort of 2 birds with 1 stone, really. I'm going to use a masher to break up all the berries. I've already done a little bit of preserving today. I've done some pickled beetroot already today. That's all totally defrosted and mixed in now. So we're going to add the sugar. And it's a crazy amount of sugar. I have weighed this out, so it is the right amount. I'm sure my pot's big enough. Hello?
You barked.
You did. You alright?
You done with it.
Yeah. That's alright. It's life, isn't it? I think I could have done with that pot. I don't know. Right, I think I'm going to have to switch pots. It's not going to be big enough for the rest of the sugar. Okay, back on track. I've transferred it into a bigger pot. I used a ladle to put it across. There's a few splash marks. That's come up to the boil and has boiled for 10 minutes, the pots and lids. So I've turned that off so it can cool slightly. I've added the rest of the sugar in here. My son's just been and he had to do a couple of jobs, but he stole one of the pickled beetroots that I've done this morning, and I've had a go at making my own labels this morning. I bought a little cheap label maker and some labels, had a go, and I didn't notice, but I've got best before 2022-027. So always good to have someone proof your work before you finish it off. Not that the date matters, that will get eaten soon anyway. I've got another batch to do. I've got to get that in from up the field, so maybe next week I'll get that in. I've actually decided it may be better to take these out now and just pop them in the oven so that they dry out properly before I add the jam in and stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put them on a tray. I've set the oven about 80 degrees and I'm just going to gently empty them out. And then that way I can dry them off, and like I say, they'll be hot and I can just put the jam straight in, and then I can have this boiling so that as I fill the jars up, I can put them in the water to be water bathed. one up. There we go. So I've got some white vinegar and just to clean off the lids after they've been filled up. The lids and the tops of the jars. Just going to take a little bit of this scummy stuff off the top. And then we are nearly ready, I would say. Spent hours doing this when we used to make consomme soup, and they always used to say that the scum was impurities, so whether that is the same in jam I'm not sure, but I'm going along those principles. Right, I think we're about there. Okay, right. So I'm just going to fill these jars right to the top and give it a quick stir. Still got a bit of scummy stuff on the top. Try and take that off. That up. Feels quite runny. Hope it's going to be okay. Just going to up my jars. Is that going to tops, Jackie? Crank them up. Put them in with the lifter actually. don't actually have to water bathe them, but something I like to do. Right, get some more jars sorted out. Don't know if that's going to be big enough. Perfect. I've waited for about 5 days before finishing this video because my jam hadn't set solid, and sometimes the pectin can take up to a week to activate and finish processing. I noticed the jam wasn't setting solid, so I was a little bit disappointed, but once I opened the jam I realised how nice it was, and actually as a soft set jam it's much more universal because I can add it into desserts like an eaten mess, or pour it on top of ice cream, anything like that, but also have it on toast. So actually I think maybe a soft set jam is better than a solid set jam. I ended up with 26 jars. It cost me £4.50 in ingredients. The recipe didn't say I had to add any pectin, and I've done it before and it's not needed anything. Yeah, I was disappointed, but actually the outcome is actually a lot better than I originally thought. So that's the end of another video. Hope you enjoyed it, and when you're making home produce and stuff like that, not everything is perfect, but you always get the satisfaction that you've made it yourself and saved an awful lot of money. Thank you to everybody who has continued to watch the channel. It's much appreciated, and if you did like it, please give it the old thumbs up and a subscribe if you're not already. Till next time, bye.